officially made it to SCarowinds over here in Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina. It's all the same, right? This literally goes right down the border of the Carolinas. SCarowinds is a Cedar Fair / Six Flags park, and tonight we are going to explore their Oktoberfest, SCarowinds, as well as just all the roller coasters. This is a world-class roller coaster park, particularly for their always winning golden ticket roller coaster, Fury 325, which is in my top 5 best roller coasters of all time. Let's get in there. SCarowinds is really affordable. I mean, single day tickets are like 40 bucks. All day dining is 32. Very, very affordable to a world-class roller coaster park. And this year, SCarowinds is included in your park ticket. Plus, for the littles, tricks and treats. So Tricks and Treats takes place mainly in Camp Snoopy, but then they also have a parade route that goes all the way from Blue Ridge Junction to Celebration Plaza, and that starts at 6. So SCarowinds has 5 haunted houses: Depths of Darkness, Tooth Fairy, Paranormal Inc, Slaughterhouse Final Cut, and Silver Scream Studios Condemned. They have 4 different shows and 4 scare zones: Ripper Alley, Lobotomies, Oddities, Harvest Fear, and BloodYard. Soon as you enter into this Main Street Midway area, you're greeted by pumpkins, spooky cauldrons, and I believe this is like the difference between like South Carolina and North Carolina. I think we're like right down the Carolina border, right in the middle. They have a really fun stand-up that you can take photos at if you want, with all these Halloween decorations and these pumpkin guys. They have a murder mystery, which is brand new this year, called Wake the Dead, 8:15, 9:15, and 10:15 for that show. Okay, welcome to the Vampire BloodYard. So there's going to be lots of roving vampires coming to scare you in this one. It reminds me a little bit of Fright Fest in the sense that it has a ton of like post-apocalyptic kind of vibes, you know, with the vampires, which I think is cool. They also are going to do a show that happens right on top on the BloodYard. So there's a band that actually performs in the scare zone. So here's your band's location. And they're called Raging Inferno, so I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of pyro, but I don't know. Don't quote me on that. 8:45, 10, and 11:15. And then they also have a fire cherry lemonade that they're doing over here, and another thing filled with the blood bags. Well, you definitely can quote me now, because there's no way that propane tank and that barrel, propane tank and barrel, aren't going to be igniting up with fire. They have this giant cop car, and there's just a straight up. God, he reminds me so much of like Vamp 69, like the biker guys, you know? He's got that vibe going to him. I guess this is going to be one of the premier haunted houses, Silver Scream Studios Condemned. And they have these like, it's like kind of back behind the roller coasters. So yes, this is Fury 325. Top 5 roller coaster for me of all time. It is so good. It is so fast. It's unbelievable to look at, experience. It's still scary to me. That lift hill is insanely fast. I mean, they are flying up that sucker. And it's super smooth, but it's exciting. Okay, I see the fright lane for this. Where the heck's the regular lane? Or does everybody go through this? I'm confused as to how this works for this house. Like, do you enter over there? I'm confused. All right, so Thematics Charlotte Hornets with this technological stinging bug. They have infinite amount of merch for 325, which I think they should, because it's such a great attraction, and it's world class. It always wins awards. Here I am. Voted best steel coaster 2016, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24. What happened in 2020? I need to now know. But yeah, golden ticket award winner. This thing just crushes every year. Every year. Best steel coaster. It's 4:15 and it's still a 5-minute wait to get on Fury. How? How? Literally greatest roller coaster. And there's no lines ever. It makes no sense to me. Then you look at every other coaster when you're on that lift hill going, we're 2 times as high. We're 3 times as high. It's awesome. So Slaughterhouse actually goes backstage, so you can barely see that little tiny cow for the red ribbon meats, but that's going to take us all the way into the Slaughterhouse. They've got this crazy foam pit for kids that just is launching foam everywhere. And then this is where the trick-or-treating is, and they distribute bags. Little cauldron action. Some sort of crystals, man. These are like real life witches. There's something funny about other places outside of the Philadelphia area having crab fries. They're just crinkle cut fries with Old Bay on them, with cheese that turns into like a solid rock if you leave it there too long. People love them. I think they're too salty, but they are the perfect snack for somebody who likes to imbibe, because you're gonna need something to wash them down. And there she goes. The big thunder of the Carolinas. Carolina Gold Rush. My favorite part are all the tunnel systems that they have going on here. It gives it a little bit of theme, you know? We made it to another scare zone. This is not the Harvest Fair, but the Harvest Fear. A time to sow and a time to reap. It gives me the vibe that it's like a vintage fall festival. Because if you look at all the characters, these are clearly like 40s/50s. And if you look at the pricing, gingivitis is only 10 cents at the kissing booth, from halitosis or gingivitis. You can kiss either one. Little fall harvest fest action. You got a little jack-o'-lantern scarecrow. If you get hungry, they have fresh baked pies, just like grandma never made. Poisonberry, pumpkin, pecan, ew, minced meat, shoe fly, and blueberry. And you can see all the faces. They look gorgeous, don't they? Oh, look at that little loaf cake. Awesome. Oh, that's like a stretched skin face. Sweet. Ew, what are those, teeth? Ugh. Rack of rats. Nickel a throw, 3 throws for a dime, knock down and win a prize. So throw some rings at some rats. It looks like we have a bunch of winners already. What do you win? Like a lemon or a rotten orange, or one of these cute little dirty, disgusting little bear guys? Sweet. Maybe somebody can help me out. It says the Singing Beaver, 2 songs for a nickel, Bartholomew Bart Beaver, known as the Caruso of the Corn Belt. But I do know that this is one of the Lantern interactive pumpkins. So if you bring that lantern, this guy will start singing for you. We got a skeleton welcoming us into the Blue Ridge Junction. Hi, skeleton. You can tell that they are hiding some delicious corn because, are they making anything in here? I noticed a bunch of smokestacks. Red Strike. Look, you can actually see the whiskey stills right there as it's exploding. And I wonder if they use jam to make some of the whiskey too, but they do have a white lightning sign up there. So the Bird family is trying to keep everyone out. They don't want any copperheads. Watch out. Yeah, this must be like made out of some like blackberry jam or something. Nothing to see here. Go on, get, or else. Snakes, they bite. I like how this has 2 launches too. Here comes the second launch. And it goes through this one loop, which I think is fun. Looks like something happened to the fellers over here. The tool shed for snakes, of course, for snakes. It's definitely, they don't use it for anything else. We're zooming in to where that white lightning is, all the way up at the front, which again goes out for the garage they have over here, but then also, of course, for the booze. Across from the Blue Ridge Country Kitchen is Blue Ridge Fixins, which serves their turkey legs, but they also have, for SCarowinds, the Diablo pull-apart bread. Spicy pull-apart bread topped with cheddar cheese, fresh jalapeno, and a ranch drizzle. Welcome to Paranormal Inc. Case number 13, The Haunting of Hayden Hill. Another one of the houses. That guy, he's been waiting so long to get in the house. They're not open yet. So I guess this goes right back here. And it says above the fence, Hayden Hill, 1864, Sanitarium. And all these are just in like what I would deem, I don't know if how long they've been doing SCarowinds for, Like, did they build these specifically for SCarowinds, or did they have these as like overlay buildings and then ended up using them for haunts? But they're not that big, which you might go, well, why does that really matter? Well, it matters to me because I'm like, dang, dude, I don't have to build the largest structures ever to make really awesome mazes. So this is just me foreshadowing to when we open a haunt. At the door, don't run away, it's only me. Don't be afraid of what you can't see. They're in love. Here's our next scare zone, Lobotomy's Oddities, Circus of Madness. So I'm assuming we're gonna get some freaky freakertons here. Is this like old stuff? Like, did this landing sign or any of this other stuff come from like a previous experience that they had here? Is there a little puppy that comes out, little Spike? They also have another kind of caravan. This is for animals. Upside down family, an alien from Brazil, jungle queen, weird, she is real. And what is she? Agile mystery angel, right? Big old giant pig head. They did say oddities, so it makes sense. Fun events, vintage amusement ride, the original Whip It. I remember like the, oh dang dude, the whole entire ride's in here. I remember the Whip when I was a kid. They're calling this Whip It, but we called it the Whip when I was a little kiddo. This is very strange, clearly odd. You got the hot dog man next to Sailor Cthulhu. There's an airplane and a giant lock that says Bob's and like a lamb's head. Uh-huh. I like that big old scary demonic clown in the back though. He looks cool. My guess is that they do or have most of the scare actors in this kind of center section and utilize this quasi stage. They have a pumpkin patch over here and just straight up free pumpkins for kids. And they're a pretty nice size. I mean, you know, you can definitely decorate it. It's not one that you would carve, but yeah, they have a bunch of these spooky clown masks. I'm guessing maybe they jump from behind these little screens. They've got actual character names. Cecil the Sad Clown and Vanya the Vain. I thought I was going crazy, but apparently when this was a Paramount park, Afterburn was called Top Gun. I really liked it back then because I had a roller coaster 3D VHS tape that I would watch, Top Gun, as a kid. So I got excited the very first time I got to ride that. Last time I was here at SCarowinds, this was a Scooby-Doo attraction, but Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. Very fun shooting dark ride where you have to defeat Lucifer. Monsters Inc. Coming to a Hollywood Studios Muppets Courtyard near you. This is the exact ride system. The only difference is they're gonna do, instead of doing a lift hill, they're gonna pick you up. But it's gonna be a family little tiny coaster like this. They had one of these at Legoland too, but they currently have one at Fun Spot Orlando if you wanna try out what this ride system feels like before they install it at Disney. The $32.99 meal plan would include Panda Express, which, dude, you get the one entree, one side for $17.49. I would just eat Panda Express all day. That's awesome. Shake Central has two exclusives. It is the Boonilla white chocolate milkshake topped with vanilla cookies, crumbles, crunchy banana chips. Also the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde shake, salted caramel milkshake topped with caramel coated popcorn, peanuts, and salted caramel drizzle. Their actors are loaded in. There they are. I'm guessing they're going towards Darkness. I think that's where that house is. They have an Oktoberfest that's going on with live entertainment. Next show over here is 5:30. They have a brat eating contest and also a Stein hoisting contest. This kind of towards the front and over where Thunderstrike is, but they have all of these great Oktoberfest food options like German nachos, fried potato chips with bratwurst and currywurst, and then pretzel nuggets with a Hofbrau Munich Lager beer cheese. They also sell fried potatoes, mini cakes with sour cream and apples. Delicious, dude. I love me some latkes. They're banging. Then you got bratwurst or smoked sausage as well. Looks like there's some sort of sauerkraut on them. If you think you're strong, you could do a Stein holding. So for $10, if you hold it for 90 seconds or 120 seconds, you can grab yourself any prize. They are pretty weighted, but you can get some really cute squishmallows. Oh, they're like legit squishmallows. And then like this like French toast guy. And then you can also throw pretzels on this thing. That's another game. And then you can win those Squishmallows. Harmony Hall has barbecue, Italian, and regular like burgers and stuff. They do have some overlay food, but there's an Oompa band that plays inside. Oktoberfest has a pretzel necklace, gingerbread hearts, and a Linzer cookie. They also have these graveyard games. You can play 3 games for $15, 6 for $25, or 20 for $75. And you come over here, they have all the different little kids games and lots of little different prizes. Some of them are really hard. That monster ball is like impossible. They have over here the honey glazed pork wings, so piggy wings, and a Kispetzel, so like a cheese spetzel. I love spetzel. They have a SCarowinds exclusive beer, an Oktoberfest Marzen, which is cool. Charlotte brewed in accordance to the German beer purity law, aka the Reinheitsgebot. And for anybody who's geeky, the Reinheitsgebot meant that you could only have a couple of ingredients, and those ingredients were water, malt, and hops, because back then they didn't know about yeast, so they just would let it naturally ferment. Depths of Darkness. I don't know much about this house other than it's gonna be dark and that your fears will come alive in the darkness. Where the heck do you go? Like, where's the backstage area for this? The scare actors are coming through. I wonder what house, you see a werewolf guy. I don't know where they're going. Huh. It's fun to see scare actors just like chilling. You know the tooth fairy one's back there, but none of those people look like a tooth fairy. I see a werewolf. Huh. We're gonna go on the Carolina Sky Tower to go and take a better look at the entire park. There they go. Those guys are obviously all for Slaughterhouse. It's pigs. Warhog, that guy looks like a butcher. I like that their mouths move. That's fun. That is so scary. I went on one once at a Six Flags. I will never do it again. There's Thunderstrike, the red coaster that's going off right now. Really, really fun. Only has like 3 runtime or airtime hills at the end. Everything else, you're like firmly planted in your seat. But it is so high. I mean, we're all the way at the top of this tower, right? Which is insanely high, and we aren't even close to the top of Fury. Fury is still got us by at least 25, 30 feet. And you can see the hurler, the wooden coaster. And then there's Ricochet, the Carolina Cyclone, the lowest is Vortex. There's Flying Cobras, Nighthawk again, and then Copperhead Strike is all the way out there in the distance. And then lastly is Afterburn. Well, we found the parade, and they do like little dance scenes. They got some gargoyles, cute little floats. I was curious if they were gonna throw candy out too, because this is part of the tricks or treats, but cute.
Halloween! Happy Halloween, guys!
Happy Halloween! I like the little witches with their potion. One taste of the poison apple and the victim's eyes will forever close in a sleeping death. Dang, dude. They must have gotten the same exact recipe from the evil queen. These guys were the Spectral Sisters. They were in a stage show just before this. And I'm assuming a lot of guys pull like double duty in extra shows and whatnot. Dude, I didn't know what to expect. You start out in a pre-show room, you can't hear anything. That's one of the loudest haunts I think I've ever been in. It's piercingly loud, so you can't hear the pre-show. But then they capture a ghost, and while the ghost is in like a cylinder, they go, everyone will, she flies out of the ghost containment thing, like shatters the glass over a zip line in front of all of us. That was a dope effect. And then they had a really cool pentagram on the ground with an LED. And then the rest of the house was pretty standard. But the first effect and the beginning was such a monumental win that, I don't know, man, that was like, It reminds me of like not scary farm stuff. Like they do that kind of stuff, like zipline stuff. It was very cool, very well done. Paranormal is definitely a popular house because there is a massive line for it. Let's see how long Tooth Fairy is. I'm gonna turn into this guy and just get like one quick middle tooth extraction. Second house, the Tooth Fairy. Just when you thought you'd get a coin under your pillow, something happens to your teeth. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what's up with the Tooth Fairy facade, but it's just a bunch of windows. Interesting. I don't know what that means, but we should go in and out of Tooth Fairy pretty quick and then keep on making our way through the houses. Truthfully, not a fan of the Tooth Fairy. In the beginning, I only saw one scare actor the entire time, and it was just like empty spaces. Although there were some good parts where they used like bloody sheets that you had to walk through, which I thought was simple but yet effective. And there were scare actors like hiding in these maze of sheets. The one thing that was cool is all the props were fun. I didn't see one single Tooth Fairy. I just saw like demonic old people masks. And but all the mandibles, the lower mandibles were ripped off of all the props, which I thought was an interesting idea. And then they showed up later in this like flesh tunnel that had all the mandibles on it. And then there was a bunch of teeth embedded in the walls. And then they had one section that had video where facially, like there was somebody with like fake blood in it that was like spitting it out. And that was like really creepy. And it was just a projection on the show or on the wall, but it wasn't like a person. That was kind of scary. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely not a fan of that one. Paranormal was definitely better. I don't know where they're from, but they're getting ready to fill, maybe they're getting ready to fill Ripper's Alley. That's probably what that is. I stand corrected. This is all the Ripper's Alley characters. Okay. So they're, dude, what great timing. Honestly, that's all the clown scare actors going to Oddities. Nice. We're not in the scare zone, but you can see BloodYard all the way down there. Should be filled with some apocalyptic vampires. We got to go through this to get to Cinema and Slaughter right now. Head into Silver Scream Studios, which takes place behind my favorite coaster, Fury 325. So we actually go like kind of backstage-ish area over by the Hurler and 325. Heading into Silver Scream. The best way I can explain Carowinds right now, honestly, is that this is a great entry-level haunt. There's no barrier to entry now because it's included with your admission price. So you can take in your kids into the least scary house, which I think is Tooth Fairy right now. I thought Slaughterhouse had a lot of really great props, and I thought that was well done. Paranormal is probably still I think the beginning is so strong on it, but it's kind of tied between Paranormal and Cinema. Cinema's probably the best all-around house, where Paranormal has the best beginning. But it's the best way to explain it. And you go through these like cattle cars to get into the haunt, which I think is really fun. It makes it really claustrophobic and super, super scary. But it's good for what it is. I think it's a very solid event. Dude, I'm an idiot. I was so confused because they have this sign right next to some stanchions, but I'm like, wait, where's the house? It's actually, you have to go into Camp Snoopy. So they actually have SCarowinds stuff in Camp Snoopy. I wonder if like Camp Snoopy closes normally during nighttime. You know, like a lot of the things for younger kids have a tendency to close earlier, but I'm not sure. So cute though. This is such a fun little fountain. So just follow this big old spider and you'll find where Depths is. The facade's kind of interesting. It looks like yellow. It's all like yellow scaffolding and some graffiti on the outside, but no telling what's inside. I'll let you know when we get in there, but it's just a bunch of bright lights in your face. Probably to disorient you when you finally get in. Dude, look, they have a little Snoopy teacups. It's so cute. All right, we're going into the Blackthorn Research Facility. Okay, there's the Blackthorn facility, and we go through, I'm assuming this is like a military base. The research facility looks pretty cool. I'm guessing that we are going to go through a bunch of experimentations that happen, and it's going to be very, very dark in here. Depths of Darkness is basically, you're kind of in like a slasher's dream, right? So you go into like this research facility, then you kind of like vanish, and I almost feel like you're going into his nightmare. And while you go through his nightmare, you go through like a campground. There's like a section with a bunch of victims like hanging up, and then there's like a laser swamp randomly. A lot of it is just black hallways with lots of empty spaces. So there's a lot to tweak to make that better and make it more cohesive. So if I was going to rank the houses, I would go, you know, I'm going to go Depths 5. I'll go Tooth Fairy 4. I'll go Slaughter 3. Paranormal 2, although the beginning is so perfect. And then I'll go Cinema number 1, not only for scares, but theme and a cohesive story. So yeah, all good though. And especially because it's like an included event. And this is definitely an entry-level event. So take your kids to it, take them through something like Depths or Tooth Fairy, which are not that scary, and or just take them through scare zones. And I think this is a great way to introduce them to haunts if they've never done them before. There's no cost to you, especially if you're a season pass holder this year. So I think that's nice. And it gives you an opportunity to showcase some things affordably, you know? We skirted into the 8:15 Wake the Dead Murder Mystery Show, which is about to start. It is 8:14. I don't really know what to exactly rightly expect here, but there's a lot of actors for this.
Awarded anything in the will? Now won't they be surprised? Walking with a dead man over my shoulder. Have been gathered here this evening to pay him final respects and to review the sole heir to the inheritance of Frederick Earl Anderson Rochester.
She killed Daddy!
Hey, not so fast. Yes, she has a strong motive, but so do the rest of you. Possible for my client's demise. I now place his or her fate in the hands of the assembled jury. Death.
Daddy? Daddy, I didn't mean it! I promise! Daddy, what are you doing?
Oh God, holy cow. That was really fun. And apparently it's just like that movie Clue, where there's 4 different endings depending on what the audience picks, and then you'll hear a final different song. So that was cool. All the Swifties would have been happy. All right, Blue Ridge Fixins is open. Sadly, the cheesesteak egg rolls were closed, but Blue Ridge Fixins has our Diablo pull-apart bread. Okay, I stand corrected. We ain't getting nothing. The pull-apart bread's sold out. Does everything sell out? Okay, here's the tip. Here, let's learn from my mistakes. The mistake is not eating earlier. So go buy your food by like 3 o'clock because it's available all day and you don't want it to sell out, which it will, because that's what happened to me. There's paranormal. Well, that's gonna do it for me and SCarowinds. If you wanna enjoy a really affordable, fun haunt that's here located in Charlotte, I think this place is a great experience. You have lots of unique foods, there's parades, there's entertainment, of course with the Wake the Dead show, 5 houses, 4 scare zones, and world-class coasters with Fury 325, Thunderstrike, Copperhead Strike, and of course my favorite dark ride here, the Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. If you want the spookiness to continue, check out this video from our road trip right here.